and everybody in between. So today I just wanted to show you this eye look I've been going for. It's just a burnt orange smoky eye, and we're just going to quickly go through my foundation routine. First, I'm starting out with my Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. This is pretty much a holy grail primer for me. I'm then going in with my Maybelline Matte and Poreless Fit Me foundation in the color 120 Classic Ivory, and I'm just going to dot that all over my face and then blend it in with a dual fiber kabuki brush. The brushes I'm going to be using that are like this throughout the video, I will have linked down below. I got them on Amazon in a kit, pretty inexpensive, but they're really good brushes, I would say. And then moving on, I'm just using my NYX Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer. I have mine in CJ04 Beige, and it pretty much fits my skin tone, color, whatever, pretty nicely. I just like to use it to spot conceal my face. And then going in with another holy grail product for me, it is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, Eraser Dark Spot Concealer, and I'm using 210 Fair Clair, but the one I'm using is a bit more yellow toned. From what I've noticed, they do make a more pink tone. I'm then going in with my Real Techniques contour brush, just a dual fiber brush, but I like to use it to blend out my concealer, and as you saw, I do like to spritz it with a little bit of MAC mineralized charged water, just to kind of help blend out my concealer a bit better. I'm then going in with my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder, and I showed you a really big fluffy brush, and that's me realizing that I needed my regular everyday smaller face brush. The brush I'm using here is just a random one that I got in a kit from Walmart. I just needed some brushes at the time. And then for bronzer, I like to use my NYX Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder in the color 728 Sunny, and that's when I'm going to be using that bigger fluffy brush that I showed you just a couple seconds ago. I actually like to build up the color of my bronzer just so it looks a bit more natural. I don't apply it too much to begin with. And then going in with my Eco Tools Deluxe Fan Brush and my LA Girl Pressed Face Powder in the color PP926 Sand. It's a little bit more gray and cool tone and a little bit darker than my actual skin tone. I like to use this just to contour. And then I'm going in with my Wet n Wild Color Icon face bronzer in the color Reserve Your Cabana. Once again, I say this all the time, I have no idea who could use this as a bronzer, because in my opinion it is way too sparkly and way too light for even the most palest of people to be able to use as a bronzer. Mind you, that's probably just me. And then I like to go in at the very end after I've done all my face powder and makeup and just spritz it real quick with my MAC Mineralize Charged Water. As you see, I'm just really quickly going to run through my brow routine. I'm just going to spoolie them out and down with, obviously, brow spoolie. Then lately I've been liking the NYX Tame and Frame Tinted Brow Pomade, and I like to use it in the color Brunette. Let me know if you want to see an in-depth brow routine. I can definitely do one, just because I haven't done one in quite some time. No surprise, I'm just using a what is this? An e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush, and I like to use this to apply my base color. This is just a Jordana matte shadow in the color White. I like to apply this just to kind of help smooth out my eyeshadows and all that fun stuff. And then I'm going in with my Urban Decay Naked 3 palette and using the color Limit on just a big fluffy brush. This is actually a watercolor paint brush, and I just like to use it for eye makeup just because it seems to work best, and I'm applying that in my crease. Next, I'm just going in with that bronzer again, but on a small flat definer brush. I'm just applying this from lash line, inner corner, outer corner of my eye up to my crease and stopping there. I will be going in and blending it all together here in a moment. And now I'm just taking that same fluffy brush we used with the Urban Decay Limit and going again in that bronzer and just blending the two colors together so it's a bit more seamless and flawless and not so odd looking. Then I'm going in with my Loreal HIP Intense Color Pigment in the duo of Saucy and using that more chocolatey brown color. I will admit these are extremely pigmented, obviously, but that chocolatey color is a bit more sparkly and has a bit more of a sheen than I might like. And I'm just using a Real NYX Duo Fiber eye brush and blending that all into the outer part of my eyelid area and up into the crease just to give it a bit more definition. I'm pretty sure I spent most of my life blending my eyeshadows out, and that's kind of sad. Anybody else have that problem? Is it just me? And then going in with a NYX Pigment. I don't know what this is off the top of my head. It was featured in my giveaway, so obviously I'm going to have it listed down below as well as the other products. But I'm just going to apply that to the center and, what is that, inner third of my eyelid. The camera's not doing it justice because it's a lot more sparkly in person. So I'm just going to apply that on my lids. I don't normally like sparkly shadows, but today I felt like doing it. And then going back in with that bronzer by NYX, this Sunny bronzer, and the Duo Fiber eye brush from Real NYX. Just going to apply that to my bottom lash line. And then I'm going with my ULTA Extreme Wear Gel Liner in the color Perfection, which is just a brown warm tone eyeliner, and I'm using a fine liner brush by Real NYX. This is the first time I'd ever used this brush, and I quite enjoyed it. It's a little bit different to work with than, say, your typical angled liner brush, but I definitely liked it. It helped me get a really precise, crisp wing, which is what I was definitely going for. Because I feel like sometimes with an angled brush, I want a really thin liner, and I end up getting a really thick liner. I'm just going to apply that same liner to my inner lower lash line, and then I'm going to smudge it along my lower lash line as well. And then I'm going with my Revlon 3D Fiber Lash Mascara and just applying probably about 2 generous coats of this just to kind of prep my lashes for the falsies I will be using. And one thing that I really like about this mascara is the wand is a lot more, how do I put this? It's a lot smaller than typical mascara brushes, but it still gives you insanely voluminous big lashes. It can get a little clumpy once the formula starts to dry out, but I find that if you put a few Visine eye drops in the mascara tube and, you know, mix it around, it brings it right back to life and makes it just as good, if not better, in my personal opinion. And then to finish off the look, I'm just applying some of my NYX matte lip cream in the color Cairo. Surprise, surprise, I actually learned how to properly pronounce the lip color. It's Cairo. And then really quickly off camera, I went and applied some false lashes and put on my work shirt, tucked my hair down. And this is the completed look. I hope you guys like it. Everything will be listed in the bottom bar for you to check out, and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, bye guys.